what are some of the biggest misconceptions just about the music industry? Yeah.
All right, you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
Honest?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, give it to them.
Music should be free.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Man, it's your man Vaughan here with the Indie Unplugged. Welcome to another episode. Tonight, we're going to get into some serious stuff for all of your music creatives out there. But tonight, we got my man, Kelby Cannick. Give him a moment to Kelby to introduce himself.
Yo, what's good? He just did. Kelby Cannick, publisher of Making a Magazine, founder of the membership. Just always supporting creatives in a positive way.
Man, I appreciate him being here. Thank you.
Appreciate you for having me.
Taking the excursion.
Yeah.
To get here.
Over the river. Through the woods.
Over the woods.
To B. Vaughn's house we go.
And then we got my man, actually my cousin, Supastar Six.
What's up, man? What's going on?
What's up, cuz? How you feeling over there?
I'm good, man.
Appreciate you
Happy
driving.
to be here.
Yeah. You know, everybody got, no matter where you live in Atlanta, it's 30 hour.
Oh, yeah.
Did it take you an hour to get here?
Yeah.
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
But you live closer to me, though.
About 45 minutes.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That ain't the traffic number either.
No,
that's
not.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's not the traffic number.
The worst thing is when you get ready to go somewhere. You be
Can
like,
we have a serious conversation about black people and their traffic estimates like that? When oh yeah, it's like, especially the out of town, it'd be like, yeah, it's like a 4-hour drive, but I do it in like 2 hours.
Yo, what was so funny the other day, and I was talking to my wife. My wife was like, "Yeah, I knew somebody who lived in wherever this part, Michigan or someplace,
Right.
Ohio,
Mhm.
and they made it to Atlanta in 4 hours."
It's like,
I was like, "Ohio in 4 hours?"
do they have a DeLorean?
And then I Googled it.
Yeah.
It is a straight shot, 4 hours.
From what part of Ohio?
I was like, "What the heck?" 4 hours. It's a literally straight drive, but you got to drive at least 100 and something miles an hour to get here in that time frame.
yeah.
Because that was
Because I used to drive, I'm originally from Indianapolis.
Okay.
So it's like
That's what's
8
up.
hours from Indianapolis here.
Mhm.
It's like 4 from Nashville.
yeah.
So that's what I'm like,
Yeah. See, I mean, we from St. Louis, so
okay.
it's
Yeah.
9 from St. Louis to here.
Okay.
I'm like, I remember when we moved here and we drove that. Oh my gosh.
You said it's 9?
Yeah.
Just 9 hours?
From here to St. Louis.
Wow.
9 hours. It's 9 hours from, well, I'm originally from VA, but
Okay.
it's 9 hours from Virginia to here. It's 9 hours from St. Louis to here.
Mm.
Wow.
So, but I seriously dislike Atlanta traffic.
Oh, man.
Nobody kind of told, well, I think they did, but I
I
dislike
figured
traffic.
out what it is. It's like Atlanta has the worst traffic because of the amount of transplants.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's effectively trying to
Right.
figure out where they're going
Yeah.
in real time.
Yeah.
In real time.
Yeah, and it's like you got the other cities that have dense populations, but they're on a grid system
Mhm.
and the streets make sense. Like you'll be on Peachtree and cross Peachtree.
Yeah, I was about to say, which peach tree?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the crazy part. Which peach tree?
So yeah.
Like, shh, that's crazy. Let's man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Hope y'all ready.
Oh,
we
man.
ready.
But I think let's start. So the topic for tonight is music industry myths, comparisons, and pitfalls.
Oh,
Okay.
All right. So let's start with where we're talking about right now, Atlanta.
okay.
Right. So what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you see when it comes to? We're going to start Atlanta first and then go globally.
Okay.
When you look at the music scene in Atlanta,
The biggest myth I see is that,
or misconceptions, yeah, either one. Yeah,
well, I would say everybody down here works together.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
Like when you're not in Atlanta,
That ain't true.
everyone comes in like, yeah, everybody down there, the way y'all work together. And I think, and the way I would explain it to people is not that everyone works together, is that everyone doesn't hate on each other.
Mm.
It's like when you come from a market like where it's just competitive and people will voice their displeasure, their dislike for each other, especially when it's a smaller market that doesn't really have a music scene or entertainment scene. It's kind of a sense that you're not going to do anything and I could say whatever. But down here, there is so much success going on. You never know who could be next.
Right.
And so I think a lot of people bite their tongue, but their actions still show you whether or not they work together. And you don't see a lot of people hate on each other, but you don't see a lot of people, as many people as there could be working together.
Yeah.
It's very cliquish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of that, what you see?
Yeah. I actually saw that my first night, like in Atlanta.
Dang.
It's two crowds. You got the in crowd, and then you got everybody else that's trying to figure out how to get in the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? It's a handful of people that really run everything around here.
Oh.
Just like the music industry.
I mean, it's just like the music industry, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's probably gatekeepers in every industry, every city,
Trust.
you know, and I'm sure there's gatekeepers here to access, you know, certain types of groups.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've felt it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, y'all had a whole party? And we're like members of the same, I'm not going to call out the organization, but we're members of the same organization and y'all had a whole get together?
Yeah.
And didn't send out a notification to to only certain people?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Where they do that at? Like,
Here, Atlanta. It's the city too busy to hate
the city too busy to hate.
and too busy to text you.
You know, I think for me, I would agree with that. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that when you move to a music city like Atlanta, now I guess you got to describe what a music city is. Is it a music city because people do music in the city? Or is it a music city because the business is in the city?
I think it's the business infrastructure.
I think it's the infrastructure that has to be present in order to be a quote unquote music
Show me how many
city.
studios you have.
Yeah. Like,
Yep.
yeah, that's the major difference between like Atlanta, Nashville, New York, you know, and even LA. Like it's people here that's just doing music. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really a whole lot of. That's what they was talking about at that event that we went to. You know, about the lack of the music industry actually being here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The business side of it, that is.
Yeah. Well, here in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because think about it. Like,
I think
you know how when you go to, I mean, you got a lot of what they call them, satellite
business versus industry. I feel like there's a lot of music business here.
Yeah.
Not a lot of music industry here.
Yeah.
So when you say business, what do you mean?
So organized systems for making money. So it's a lot of studios, it's a lot of producers, it's a lot of the cultural R&D.
Yeah.
Atlanta's the R&D department.
It is really, that's a great way to describe
and so
it.
like, but the other places, that's where the business, that's the executive.
Yep.
You follow me? Like it's the other aspects, and it makes sense because that's where the money is.
Right. Yeah.
And so it doesn't make sense for the money to be down here.
Right.
Like the money is in New York and LA,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes sense. But the culture
is
here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the culture definitely is here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
When it comes to that perspective, you know, I've seen it, I felt it when you are one or the other, right? You're either trying to get into the group,
right,
or figure your way out, or figure your way into that, or you're part of the group already. And sometimes, not even just in Atlanta, sometimes other people don't want you in that group.
Yeah.
And then, for me, I think that's part of the misconception, especially for, like I was saying, like a music city, right? Is when you move here, you're gonna pop off. Like, I moved to Atlanta. Stuff is about to pop off for me.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. It's definitely about to pop off because you finna find out real quick.
Like, and I think for me that was a big misconception. Is I wanted to move to a city that had opportunities, but I understood that I still had to put the work in.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think most people feel like if they move to a music city, oh, I'm gonna get access to all the studios and producers, and I'm gonna be able to network and go to these events, and I'm gonna be in the in crowd. And I don't.
Yeah.
For me, that's not the way it works. What I've seen is that's not the way it truly works.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I felt like, and I feel like we might have some similarity in this. I think there are people who think like that, and then I think there are people who kind of plateaued where they were from.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like where I was at, it was like a lot of things that I wanted to do and I was trying to do and trying to work with people on and pitching and stuff, that it wasn't, we weren't on one accord. And people really just, like I said, don't mind outright hating just because this ain't never gonna,
right.
But when you come down here, I feel like it's easier to find like-minded individuals.
Yep.
And it's like, I was having this conversation with someone yesterday about the whole Atlanta, not from Atlanta thing. And I feel like the outside is what makes Atlanta what it is. Is because you get you get people who come down trying to pop off, but they run out of money and go home.
Yeah.
But the best and the brightest come down here for opportunity.
That's right.
And they stick around.
That's right.
And so you get the best from St. Louis, from New York, from all these places, all these people with hustle, with ambition, with and it creates something special. And I think that's what it is. So I know for me, that's where like kind of what it was. It was stuff that I was trying to do back home that when I came down here, it was just easier to do it because it was like I didn't have to sell it so hard or explain it so much. It was just like, okay, that's what you got going on.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what was really easier to do this podcast because in St. Louis, now granted we have artists in St. Louis and things like that, but one, not of the caliber of artistry that you have in a city like Atlanta. But once I started networking and meeting people, doing something like this became really easy. To get guests on and to that kind of that's really how me and my cousin met. Right?
Okay.
He hit me up and he was like, "Hey," he said, "You know this person?"
This your cousin?
Yeah, cousin. Like cousin. Like cousin. Yes, on my mom's
Whole
side.
family tree, man.
Whole family tree, bro. Yes. Like that, like
cousin,
like it's your cousin, not like your play cousin because it's like your homie that you grew up with. Like, you got like play cousins. No, this is like cousin for real. And he hit me up, and because he was going to be interviewed on the thing. He was like, "Yo, I was going and looking at the, your profile and all that, and your Facebook, and I noticed you. Are you you know this person?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I don't really know her, but I'm related to her."
Yeah.
He was like. I think he said, like, that's my mom.
Okay.
I was like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah, that's what's up. Like, yeah. Anybody with your last name registered, trust me, we related to
9 times out of 10.
9 times out of 10. That Gerard register is the family tree.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was essentially how we actually met. Was through some familial type of I'm gonna be on your show type thing.
Okay.
But once again, I think going back to so let's take it globally.
Right.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions just about the music industry? Yeah.
All right. You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
Honest?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, give it to them.
Music should be free.
Yo.
The music industry is a bubble.
I definitely want to hear this.
I gotta hear it.
The music industry is a bubble.
I gotta hear why it should be free.
And it's like, if you feel otherwise, you're like the slave master. Africans were running around Africa free. And then they were put in bondage and they were sold. And it was status quo and it was accepted. And when they ran away, they chased after them because it was going against the law. Intellectual property should be free. Like, it's a concept created. If you hum a melody, that means that I can never hum it. That is ridiculous. And so we talk about social constructs all the time and all this negatively, but no one questions that. Music is culture. Art is the language of culture. And so much of culture is caused to stagnate because of intellectual property, because someone controls that culture. And so if you look at comparatively to patents, there's R&D that goes into patents, researching a drug or inventing something. So to encourage that, giving some limited monopoly over that so that a person can recoup and make money that justifies the research and development. There's very little that goes into creativity. Now, production is a different thing, but creativity, it's free. It's given to us by God.
True.
And so then we put something out into the world, and because we all are capitalists at heart,
we are capitalists.
we want a monopoly on it, and we don't question the things. And so in my mind, in the way I see this, music, the music industry is 500 years old. Printed sheet music. The record industry is like 100 years old. Like, we've lived in this bubble where music has been owned. And we think that that's okay and status quo. So if I was born, if you were white and you were born in 1787, yeah, of course they're supposed to be slaves.
Music should be free.
Why shouldn't it?
I don't know.
If music has been around for tens of thousands of years without being sold, it's like artists should be compensated. Like, and when you create, but it's the idea that you like, the ownership of it, like how
ownership of it.
Yeah.
So you're saying that as if I was an artist and I perform somewhere, I should be compensated for it, but there shouldn't be a structure of control over who owns the said music.
Yes. Like, that's like, and here's the thing, is like, an artist have to reconcile their things when you're anti-capitalism, but you accept this limited monopoly that the government gives you so that you can capitalize. Like, you can't hold both of those concepts. So I was like, I have no problem. I help artists make money all the time.
Right.
But like, if we're talking about like conceptually, I like what I see, hey, this is flawed. But it's just like, hey, it is what it is. We're gonna make money.
We're gonna make somebody gonna make some, trust me. Cause what you think about that? I see you over there pondering.
I was definitely listening to what he was saying. Trying to see in what sense should it be free.
Not my music.
Yeah, man.
I put a lot of effort into this.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying from that perspective, but at the end of the day, if somebody chose that as their profession, like if this person was over here, they chose to be a mason, you know what I'm saying, brick mason, and lay bricks for a living, you know, they gonna feel like they should be paid for laying the bricks.
You're right.
You know, so.
But not the idea of a wall.
You say not the idea of a wall.
See, there's a difference between the labor that goes into something and the idea of it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's the idea of it. So it's the search for passive income. Like, I own this, and you should like conceptually, like, who owns the land? Like, who, how does someone really sell you land?
Trust me, look, banks, they do it all day long.
Right.
And they don't even really own the land. Like right now, the biggest thing is they're trying to sell stars.
Right.
I'm like, bro, you don't even own a star, bro. Like, how you going to sell space?
But that's what we're doing.
Space.
Nothing different with the music.
Yeah.
We're selling concepts.
That's interesting to approach it from that perspective.
Because I look at art as anything that you do with passion. So you say with your music, all this effort you put in. Let's say it's a different art. Let's say you're a chef and you come up with this amazing recipe. and it's like nobody else can cook it. Don't matter if they bought the ingredients, right. But I need if they bought the ingredients and they selling it for they bake sale, I need 25 cents off of every muffin you sell. Does that make sense? Can I not cook these muffins at home for my kids?
Yeah, I mean,
that's music.
Yeah, but that's what's happening now anyway.
Yeah, I mean, companies today are doing, I mean, when you think about from a product development perspective with food companies, let's say food companies, right? They are inventing and coming up with products that they are patenting those products, trademarking. I don't know if you can
that's the thing.
Product, but
you really can't, like the food, you can't, because there's the cereal in the bag at the bottom.
True. I mean, this is why you got like Cheerios and Tostitos.
Yeah,
they're not the same.
Oreos. You got great value. You got Costco.
Right. They're not the same. You got the bag cereal and the box cereal.
Oh man.
And they try to, you got Fruit Loops and you got whatever they be trying to.
Whatever the Kirkland brand.
The Kirkland brand.
You know, we Costco.
Fruity O's.
Yeah, Fruity O's. But you got companies that are branding their. Well, I don't want to say it's not really branding. It's patenting their foods, like Heinz 57.
Yeah.
Like, they have a certain brand and mixture of what goes into their ketchup. No other company can reproduce what they have within their. Yeah,
I have to check it because is the patent because see, here's the thing: the patent probably isn't the ketchup; it's probably more so the process.
It's the process. It's the process.
So
and
now
the things
that's
that
the
they
thing.
use,
If I could arrive at the same thing without utilizing their tools or their process, then it's.
Now, they're not saying you can't make ketchup,
right?
Yeah, but you can't make ketchup that's like this with these ingredients, this process to make this ketchup.
But that's where music is. It's like. It's like, yo, I own these. Like, there was literally, I'm a nerd. So there's this computer. It was like, I can't even remember. It was like, so they ran an algorithm to basically, like the way copyright, everybody knows how copyright law works. Once it's in fixed form, it's copyrightable.
Yeah.
So they ran an algorithm to create every single permutation of an 8-bar melody.
Wow.
And saved it onto a hard drive. So now, technically, could one not now copyright every possible melody that could ever be created? So that shows the flaw in the system. That's the thing.
So it's the conceptual idea that is where the ownership and control is coming in. Not so much that, as Supastar Six, as the artist you're performing, yet you're not getting paid for your performance.
Yeah, you definitely should get paid because that's your time, your brand and everything.
Yeah, so when you're out there performing, you're getting paid.
Yeah.
But it's so let me take it back for the history of music. People don't know the history of music. I probably get it wrong, but it didn't really become this industry, and you said it was until sheet music, right? Until they identified how to take music, put it on sheet music, and create sheet music, and then sell sheet music.
Right.
That's really when it took a turn to become
publishing,
for the publishing of it. Now, I can take Beethoven's work and then put it all on these sheet music, and we got to document it. And now there's a person who can own that, because you couldn't really own the music. Beethoven was to go around, Mozart going around and just playing it. There was no ownership of the music at that time until they started creating sheet music, and there was somebody who had control over the sheet music.
Right.
And from that's how it grew into this music industry.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing. So that's the music industry. But then the record business is when we technologically can record sound. So now we're able to capture this piece of culture, this piece of art.
Yeah.
And like, I'm pretty sure like when the printing press was invented, like the composers weren't happy about that. There's like these people playing my music horribly, like so.
I'm sure.
So then we get into this space, and we're all young enough to not even understand this. That the recording industry predates us. Now, just conceptually think about this. Before that, every time someone heard music, somebody was performing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why there are all these symphony halls and all of these major metropolitan areas? Like, it was an event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was somebody's job. Someone earned a living as a musician on a regular basis. The juke joints and all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The juke joint became a juke box.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many working musicians did the record industry put out of business?
Yeah, a lot.
And so then it turned, we went from like music, and it's like so interesting. I found this, I cannot remember the name of the book, but I found this book, like I was going through like researching some of this, and I found a book that I ended up checking out, and it kind of talked about this, and it put something in context that I never really paid attention to. How music goes from a communal thing to an individual thing. Where when we were kids, we all A, B, C, D, we all singing together. We're all learning and singing together. And then as you get older, it becomes, I am just a listener. Either you're a creative or you're just in the audience. And very few are creative. So now people stop participating in the act of music.
Yeah.
And it's like, and music wasn't like that. You have like field songs, you had like people working songs, like you had like, music was part of culture, and then it transformed where it's stripped from us, and now we just are passive observers of music. And so it's like like that changed everything, because now I can just get one person who sings it really well, one exception, and then make 1 million copies of that. And now that's the standard by which everyone judges. I can't sing that well.
Wow. So you gotta find that book. I wouldn't mind taking a look at that.
Yeah.
That's
I'll look for it. It was like, I'll check it.
That's still interesting. The music should be free. Not free in the sense that an artist doesn't get paid, but free in the sense that there shouldn't be a control over the music. That's very interesting. I never looked at how the industry operates from that perspective. I mean, because we
were born into it,
right? Because you're born into it. You think about laws. You think about copyright laws and the way that is currently set up to ensure that royalties are being paid. There's publishing.
And none of it makes sense.
There's the owner of the masters, but
right? None of this stuff you just said makes any sense.
But there's systems that somebody put into place.
They're old systems
to have.
Why does publishing apply to an MP3, to electrons? From sheet music to electrons. Why does mechanicals apply to an electronic process? Them is polar opposites. Something that's mechanical isn't digital.
Yeah, see, and that's one of the things, that's one of the problems, honestly, right now. Because that, them music becoming digital actually cut out a lot of the mechanical royalty. Which, if you think about that was the producing something that actually sells. The whole streaming thing. Now the labels technically don't have to pay. If you got one of them old contracts that didn't have streaming in it, they don't have to pay you that mechanical royalty, which they like.
But why did they have to pay a mechanical royalty?
In the beginning?
Yeah. See, that's why it's not what, but why?
I mean, I can't tell you why they came up with the concept, but from the perspective, like, okay.
I just know I want them.
Yeah, see, yeah. Listen,
and my artwork, my
in 1865, there was someone on a plantation that said, "I know I want them."
Look, my art, I knows I want them.
Like,
I'm gonna
I don't feel like picking this cotton.
I knows I want them though, but when you think about it, I didn't mean to cut you off, cuz.
No,
I'm gonna let you finish it.
Because I mean, all I was gonna say was, that's just it. it's a way to guarantee that you continue to reap the benefits of your work. As a person who sat down and did that work, if they gonna put it into something that they can sell, then you should definitely get paid from that. So that's the way I see it.
Like,
so all right. So I've had a full circle. Like where the magazine started is not where it's at now. Like when I was young, when I started it, I wanted to help artists make money. Like I used to be an artist. I made money as an artist. I was terrible though. Like I made like $250,000 though as a musician. And then I moved down here to Atlanta and they let me know that I was terrible. Like I got to see these. I'm like, yo, these people are amazing. Like R&D. Like,
you get to see, you're like, oh.
Yeah. But then I would talk to these same people at these showcases and stuff, and I was like, yo, you've never made any money? You're 1,000,000 times better than me and have never made any money doing this. And so when I started the magazine, the goal was I wanted to show everybody the business. Like I wanted to expose artists to the business and give them like, yo, this is how you make money. And I caught a lot of flack for that. Like with promoters, with company, with people down here. Because there was a lot of people who made money off. I'm giving away DJ contacts and processes like this is how you get your stuff copyrighted. And this is how you market. This is how you can tell if the streams are like all that type of stuff. And it was not.
Yeah, that definitely ain't welcome. I'll be sharing the secrets.
But then the industry caught up because of social media. And so now the information is more readily available. So now everybody's giving away information. But now like kind of come to this full circle moment, like in the past couple of years, that because I talked to so many young artists and I see like it's like a mental health crisis. Like because of these standards and the pressure that is put on artists, like I hear like professionals will talk about how lazy artists are and those type of things. And it's like, because we had it harder. Like we had to go sell CDs and all that stuff, but we didn't have it harder because it's like you didn't have a Twitter, a TikTok, a Instagram, a YouTube, 4 posts a day over here, 3 in the story, 2 on the page. You didn't have to manage stuff like that and be creative and it be forward facing and all of these different things.
Yeah.
And so it's like the struggle, I don't think the struggle got any easier. I think it changed. And if anything, it got harder.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think artists back in the day, the reason why they probably said it was hard is because they actually had to physically do the work that needed to be done. Like you had to go print up the CDs. You had to pay for that. You had to actually go and sell the CD. Like, hey, you want to buy my CD? To random people on the street. And so you had to, put in physical.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to do that today.
And then you go to sleep.
Then you go
and you rest.
Right.
But the mental strain that is put on these young artists
today
is like
it's crazy.
People don't recover from that. It's like so people are like, I talk to too many artists. And it's like this thing that's supposed to bring you joy. Like I am so like I had to check myself. Yeah. Like art is not a job, to your point. And that's what made me think of like this work that you do. It's not a job. Art is something you do because you love it, because you're creative.
Yeah.
And it's the idea that it's a job is the problem. It's
you
like
saying for the younger artists?
For every real artist, you create because you love it.
Yeah.
Like the other stuff surrounding it, like when you choose to, like I can love cooking. That doesn't mean that I gotta sit up and put a menu together to make lunch for my kids.
or that you have the plans and desires to become a chef or anything like that. But
and so we foist that on everybody who's a creative now. We're shoving the business down their throats to someone who just heard a beat and wanted to rap over it, or wanted to sing a cover on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's not right.
Are you talking about when you so you just talking about common people that
we're all common people.
Just I'm saying that don't want to be a professional.
But that's the thing. Like you don't know, like so it's an arc. Everyone, like It's those who are hobbyists, those who are serious, and those who are professional.
Right.
90% of people are hobbyists.
Right.
Whether they know it or not.
Whether they know it or not, they hobbyists.
And it's like, and the way that I categorize hobbyists is by how they spend money.
Yep.
And it's not how much you spend, it's about how uncomfortable the sum is.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you got $1 million, you could easily spend $10,000 doing music. It's a hobby. People spend that money going to Vegas.
Right.
And it's like, but you know, if you got $10,000 worth of disposable income from the year and you spend 3,000 of it, 4,000 of it, that's a considerable investment. That's 30 to 40% of your disposable income. So you're serious.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, when I put it in that context, it's like there are a lot of people who spend money doing music that aren't serious, whether they're spending money or not. They're spending it as an expense and not an investment.
Gotcha.
It's the experience. Like, I want to perform, so they can spend some money and perform somewhere. They can spend some money and watch the numbers go up on they Spotify numbers or their likes or whatever. These are things that bring them joy. And it's like, it's like buying a lottery ticket. We wouldn't call buying lottery tickets a job.
That is not shoot. Some people, that's a job. Or like, I mean, I don't know.
Some people, it's an addiction.
It's an addiction. That's probably the right term.
That's where we're at in this music. That's why I say it's a mental, like for me, in my core, it's like, this is like we take this thing that brings joy and we sully it, like with the business for a lot of people who aren't there yet. And so it's so many, especially for young artists, there's so many young artists, and people talk about the quality of the music. And I say a lot of these artists never get good because they were too busy trying to get on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from the second you record something, I'm trying to get on. Put me on right now. I'm trying to get on. One of them type beats. I gotta do the auto tune like this. I gotta. And it's like,
I think that's really what separated, us from this generation too, because we had a chance really, to hone the craft without being seen or heard.
Yeah.
Now, shoot, man, it's easy to be seen and heard. So these kids, they make something. It's on the internet tomorrow. Matter of fact, it's on the internet while they making it.
Right. We live. We in the studio.
We're in the studio right now. We working on the track today. Let's go.
And I say this as my studio has cameras to go live while people are recording.
And they just at a click of a button, click. Like, we live right now. Let's go. I mean, we could do the same thing. But I definitely get it. But I mean, it's an interesting concept. Like, I know there's 100 million people that probably disagree with you.
Yeah.
About,
because they're
I want my
capitalism.
I want my mechanicals.
That's why capitalism works.
I want my publishing.
That's why slavery works.
I want my masters.
Like, it was a lot of people who weren't benefiting from slavery, but the idea that they could, they fell in line.
That's true. I can definitely.
It's like it's so many artists who would disagree with me who ain't making nothing on their distro kid.
Right. Man, I agree with you, man. I need to get my money, but it's like, yo,
what
you making today, though?
What the ins and the outs.
What you making today?
It's the idea of being in the in crowd.
Mm-hmm. So is there
even that shit is bogus, dude. Like, because man,
being in the in crowd,
yeah, legit. Because look, I'm gonna talk around this. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
No, we straight through.
Not talking around.
I mean, I ain't gonna mention no names.
Listen, this will be edited, so there's a bleep. I don't know.
Look, put that mic closer and tell them exactly what you're about to say.
Okay, so look, I put it to you like this, right? I went to New York some years ago, and there was a party thrown by a certain person, and
did you go Uber?
Huh?
Uber.
Say,
to get to the party. Did you take that? Take that?
Did you take that? Take that to get to the party?
I know where you're getting at, but no, we actually rode in a Bentley to go over there. But
you was in a Bentley though.
Yeah, yeah, my partner.
Okay, that's how y'all travel.
Yeah, I mean he do. It ain't mine.
You did,
but yeah, some of the people that's in the in crowd here in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't get in that party. They were standing out there with everybody else, like, "Hey man, what's up?" And then that's when I figured it out. All these years that I've been, in the industry and around all the people that I've been around, it's more than one crowd, dude. Like, and it's levels to it. You know what I'm saying?
Levels to it.
'Cause
Oh yeah.
I was like, dang, that's crazy.
I heard someone say that. I hope I get the phrase right. That Atlanta is a pretender. I was like, yo, what? And this person said this. He moved the mic close, like, let's move the mic closer.
Do tell.
Like, Atlanta's a pretend. That was like a pretender. Like everybody in Atlanta is pretending to be. Now, of course, once again, there's levels to this, right?
Yeah.
So there, and
like the algorithm is algorithming. Like we definitely live in a simulation. I've had this conversation like 3 times in the past week.
It said that we are pretending. We're trying to be what other cities are.
Go ahead.
From a music perspective, right? From a music perspective, like if you go to LA is really doing music.
Yeah.
Like they are really doing music in LA. Are we really doing music here? I mean, we're putting music out.
Oh.
It's
about to get spicy in here.
But are we really doing music? Like I'm gonna take this. We gonna segue into this next.
Oh no! You asked.
Yeah. No. But that's gonna tie into this. Are some creators playing the music business? Right. That's one of the topics.
Okay.
Like so we can take it and segue directly into. Are some music creators playing music business? Are they playing music industry? Are they playing like? I mean, you talk about how a lot of artists, music producers, are hobbyists.
Yeah.
Right. But when this person said it, I was like, and said it on a panel.
Yeah.
With a bunch of artists and producers in the panel. It's like, yeah, we're pretenders out here. Yeah. We are a facade. We want to be New York. We want to be LA, but we not.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I can see that.
Yeah.
And the reason going back.
And this is coming from somebody who's up there.
No.
Oh yeah.
Here's like one of the things for me why I can agree with that is because music is really was the leading or primary industry down here.
Mm-hmm.
So you move down here. If you're black, like you move down here because of music and stuff like. And other than that, just good jobs and opportunities. Right. There's like slightly less oppression. Oppression
there's
light.
There's a lot of black people down here, so we should be all right.
Yeah. So it's but it's like I said like New York and LA, they're port cities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Commerce.
That's true.
Yeah. Finance. Like there is a lot of money in other things and adjacent industries, fashion, film, like, but then one of the things why I say that also makes this a great place for the R&D department is because you can try new things out here. And I feel like in LA, it's like one of my things with LA is when it comes to the music industry, it's like you're either all the way on.
Yeah.
Or you're all the way off. Mm-hmm. Like ain't no middle ground really. Mm-hmm. It's like either you got a pub deal and you writing and you in sessions, or you damn near on band lab. Like you ain't far from it. Like and so that's my thing with that. But when it comes to down here, it's like a thriving independent scene because it's not a lot of other industries down here. Mm-hmm. Film has gained a lot of ground and considerable ground.
Yep.
And there's a lot of crossover because it's like a lot of the artists and people I know in the music are moving in that space.
Right.
Yeah.
And supplementing their music with income from an actual industry. Like the music industry does like $29 billion a year, I think, globally. And I think film production and distribution did like 70, 80. And it's like double, a little more than double.
Yeah.
But like double when we're talking billions is a lot.
It's
like
a lot.
So like that's kind of the thing where I feel like I could definitely see where they're coming from with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Context.
Are they playing music business?
I've said that for years though. Like like when I first started the magazine, people are like, I'm gonna be the artist, you be the CEO. Everybody had their Vista print cards with CEO on it, a company record label name that they didn't register or anything. And this, you're gonna be the publicist, he gonna be the producer. Nobody knows the job titles that they have, how to function in them or anything. It's like the studio is a clubhouse for a lot of people. And it's like it's recreational. And that's one of my things where I get on. I give professionals a hard time when they sit up and they clown on independent artists and really talk down on them and get mad at them. And it's like, if this artist doesn't take their stuff seriously and you're barking at them on Instagram and calling them dumb and and complaining about them not paying and stuff. And it's like, you're the one who does this professionally.
Yep.
You should be able to identify someone who doesn't. So it's like, that's where I had to like, I used to be mad. Like I used to get annoyed like first 3-4 years, like, cause I really wanted to help every artist. And then I had to realize like, oh, some of y'all ain't serious. And just let it be.
So, man, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, man. A lot of people just want somebody to hand them a whole career.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
No.
That's not happening. Nobody's going to come in on, your silver horse and kind of say, hey, I'm here to rescue you. I'm your Prince Charming. Let's sign that deal.
If they do.
Let's sign that deal. If they do, you best.
It comes with what you just said.
Exactly.
It's going to come with some stuff.
Yes.
You better make sure you got somebody in your corner that's going to read through that stuff, because a lot of times people like, when those opportunities do come, hey, because the mentality is that I'm about to be put on.
Yeah.
Yo, it's this artist that reached out and wanted me to manage them.
I saw that post about you being a manager. I did see that.
So with that, effectively what I did is created a service. So it's management service. It's not management. Like, I believe in today's, it's funny to me how we hold on to what's traditional. Because like paying for management, it's a scam. If the person don't believe in you, they should manage you. A manager should get 15%, 20%. A manager should get 50%. Like in my book, a manager, I'm a co-founder. Baby. I am a co-founder. That's like me being a co-founder in Apple. I put in as much work. I bring all these resources, and I get 15% contingent upon you wanting me around.
Right.
That don't make any sense.
Because trust me, you're gonna haggle me about 15%. Can we get that down to 11.7?
Yeah.
What if I'm the one that's sealing the deal? So I think you should get this. I had an artist telling me that one day.
Yeah. It's lunacy. But for me, it comes down to all of these things that get told. Like the loudest, what is it? The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Like it's like, but we have all of these loud voices, but the people who are happy are quiet. And it's a lot of happy people. $29 billion was made last year. It's a lot of
happy people. They're getting the mechanicals.
Like, you don't know who got placements and who like, so it's like all of these, but it's like a loud few. And then that paints, and it's like it was a thing that I would talk to artists. It was like, I would tell artists, period, point blank, like, you're fine with racism. Like with the way, like we talk.
Like, you fine with it?
Like we talk and we deal with artists. And like me personally, like, oh man, so many scams. How I know you real? Like how I know this, and question my business. Yeah. Like all these videos, all this stuff. Like you question it because So I was like, all right. And I was on live with an artist. I'm like, all right, majority of the time, you've spent money in the music industry. You got exactly what you paid for.
Mm-hmm.
You paid for a studio session. Did they leave with the studio? You paid for the beat. You got to rap over it. You paid for the cover art. You paid for photos. You paid to perform. The club was there. The stage was there. All of these things. One time you sent somebody some money to increase your followers or to do something on, and now everybody's a scam. Everything is a scam. So you can take the in just in numbers, not anecdotally. 99% of the people of doing music are legitimate businesses. Whether they're good at their job is a different thing.
That's a different story.
But legit businesses with aspirations and goals to be great publicists and promoters and engineers, just like you want to be an artist. And so if you can take the 1% of bad actors, or 5% of bad actors, I'm going to give it to you, 5% of bad actors, and paint the other 95% based on that, then you're accepting of the same logic that propagates racism. It's human nature.
Because what you're saying is that, so talk about that. I don't want to make an assumption. What do you mean by that?
It's like we would all sit up and say racism's bad. And especially as Black people in our culture, like, because yes, there is someone who is smoking weed or someone who sells crack. But why are you pulling me over? Just because I just share a complexion.
Because you share a complexion. There's
one
identification.
One thing.
Right.
One identifier. Right. And you treat me as if. And so exactly. And so when we get into the music industry, it's this general distrust that creatives have for anyone on the professional side.
Yeah. Is that it's a scam.
Yeah.
Unless you have some type of social proof that says.
And them be the biggest scams.
And they be
oh, yeah.
Man. Yeah. Some of them be the biggest scams. Yeah. You're like, and I think that's kind of what makes people wary, right? Is that you're like, I went to this person and I trusted this person because they had X, Y, and Z. And I paid the money and nothing happened.
Man.
So now you're offering the service. How do I know you're real? How do I know this is not a scam and this is not fake? Because I had an experience already with X, Y, and Z person. And, I got robbed by that person.
This is the management situation. It was a similar thing. Like the artist had went through had a bad experience with a manager that tried to do some funny stuff on a deal and take a majority of the money on the deal. And so he reached out because he saw that we were doing a management service. But for me, the management service isn't management because I feel like most artists don't need management at the levels that they're at.
They don't.
This artist was actually, he's making some money off of features and doing some stuff. And I don't need to manage you. Like, you got some offers coming in and stuff, but it's like, what I feel like he needed to do was marketing. It's like, because you're generating revenue and it's like based on what you've outlined, you can increase the revenue based on marketing. And whatever deal you sign at this point, whether it's a label deal or a management deal, you're in a position of low leverage. And if you can increase your leverage by increasing your revenue and opportunities that are available to you, that deal gets drastically better.
Right.
But, and it's like in this, because I don't have like an artist that I was like, hey, this artist right here just sold 10 million records. And that I do is like, I don't help people do that. I don't help artists win Grammys. I help artists pay bills.
Right.
I help artists get their first paid feature. I help artists scale up and do stuff. Like, I help artists do stuff that the people in the label offices don't know how to do because they operate at a different level. And so it's like that's one of the things. Like when you have these panels, a lot of the time, it's even online, it's a lot of very general advice given and information that's given that isn't relevant to the level that most of the artists are at.
Yes. So that's probably some of the things that when they walk out of that, they feel like, man, is this really going to be what I? Because like you're listening to people who are already at a certain level, telling you how to apply things that they are doing at that level to what you currently do.
Yeah.
And a lot of those things aren't applicable.
Right.
Right. They're just not.
Yeah.
They're applicable to an artist who has $1 million budget, but not you.
Yeah.
You barely got $100.
You're not an eagle. Yeah. You can't soar.
Yeah,
but an eagle can't sit up and tell a bumblebee they can't fly.
That's true. I like that analogy though.
Yeah, I used to be a rapper.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say that sound like some rappers.
Yeah, I got bars.
I got bars for days. I don't have that.
So,
but yeah, that's true, and you hear it on panels a lot. Is they're giving advice for levels that are 2-3 levels above where somebody actually is. It's like,
and it's sad because those are people, they're there because they want to learn, because they're really trying to. Those are the people who are trying to escape the gravity of the hobby. Like, I'm trying to lift off. I'm trying to get to the next level, and they can't because
I hadn't heard one, like all of those. You know, when you see people doing that type of posting that type of content, I hadn't came across one where I'd be like, okay, what he's saying can actually take somebody to another level. I hadn't came across one because, like, dude, what you saying is on YouTube.
Yeah,
is I mean, they got access to that. Like, you gotta, if you're gonna give somebody some knowledge or give somebody some industry secrets. You know, what
I hate these titles, this title culture we live in.
Right.
Gems. Like,
if you
they made me get off a Clubhouse.
If you're going to give them that, then give them something real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of just talking at people.
But here's the thing. You can't do that. Like, it's in my opinion, it's literally impossible because I can't give you specific answers to your problem in a general forum.
Right.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
that's the thing is, the right answers are expensive. That's what consulting is for. Like, so I do consulting work, and it's like, when I consult, like I spend half the call asking questions.
Yeah.
Because I can't give you advice. Even when I do free consultations and give advice when I'm on live and I let people come in, like, they'll ask a general question, and then I got to ask 5 to 10 questions to get them to the real question that they need answered.
Right.
And like, a great example is this. It's, when do I need a manager? And so
I got a bunch of questions already. Like, as soon as you say that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I was live with an artist, and I was like, when do you need a manager? That's what he asked. And I was like, right now. And he was like, what? And I was like,
he wasn't ready.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, right now. Because I know I'm not the first person you've asked. So clearly you're still asking this because you want a manager, and you're going to keep asking until someone tells you right now
that you need a manager.
Yeah, because ultimately, like, for most artists, in my purview, like, a lot of artists think that I want to do music and I want someone who can just figure out how to make money for me.
Yeah, that's what the manager
does. What the manager is. The manager is a catch-all title that's everything that I don't want to do as an artist.
Right. And then you only want to pay that person 15%.
15%.
Knowing that
85% of the work.
I got to do 85% of the work. I'm the person I'm probably doing your booking.
You have to do real work.
I'm probably doing your booking.
So that's the thing. You're
doing the work. I'm doing the work.
Creative is not work, it's passion. All the stuff that turns it into money is the work.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I can definitely agree with that.
So that's where I was like, when I say artists act like being an artist is work, the creative part of it. Like, I'm in the studio putting this work in. No, you're not. You having fun.
Right.
You feel me? When
it's working.
Michael Phelps is at the beach with his children and his wife, he's not putting that work in.
Right. Even though he's the one of the best swimmers
right.
ever.
But he's doing it in a recreational setting.
Right.
He's not training.
Right.
And so it's like we've abstracted it to the point where artists feel like the actual act of creativity is the work.
Yeah, true.
And that really isn't the work. The work is everything else that takes place.
Yeah.
So for that, you should get paid.
And for that, you should get paid.
So like,
oh yeah, definitely. That's the big thing. It's because when people say I need a manager, oh hey, you want to manage me? You want me to do all the stuff you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then let's do a 50-50. Let's split on everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have to put in all that work.
Like it's like in perpetuity. Like
and forever.
Forever. Like because here's the thing. Like
forever.
Like but like that sounds ridiculous. But just put it in any other company. Like someone has an idea, he can code, has an idea for an app, but doesn't know anything about business, doesn't know how to take it to market, do marketing, get investors, do any of that other stuff. And you come in and say, hey, you do have a good idea for an app and you have the talent to code. And they put in all of this stuff. And it's like, yeah, we do 50-50 split.
Yeah.
And then it becomes $1 billion business.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, all right, I want to go with this other guy right now that says he can get me to 100 billion. And it's like, here's 15%. Or even here's 50% of the billion.
That's probably why they had them what is sunset clause?
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
You mean in
the contracts
in the
are this thick?
About the manager contracts
and the management contracts.
Yeah.
Sunset clause.
Like that's what I was like with. I don't know, Chance and Pat's
Rapper
situation.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't think they didn't have I don't think they had a contract.
Oh man.
Like, if my memory serves me correct, when I was reading on it, it was like, and he was like, I have to go check.
Manager?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was like after whatever project didn't do well, and then he kind of disappeared, and then it was like he fired his manager, and it was a whole kerfuffle in the media. Yeah, and but when I was reading up on it, it sounded like from what I was reading, they didn't have a contract. And that he was like kind of referencing a sunset clause as a standard, an industry standard. I was like, that's like, if you don't have a contract, like, and that's the point. That's why the contracts are so thick because we have to take in consideration every possible timeline in the multiverse.
Yeah.
What happens if you do this and this happens and that happens?
That's why I said stuff like the world.
Yeah.
And
the universe.
The universe. I was about to say that. It mentions stuff like the universe. And I'm like, the universe.
Listen.
And the only reason why.
Because now we have satellite radio.
True.
It's non-terrestrial.
Hey, we're going to sell you we're going to sell you stars. It's space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your music going to be in the universe.
Yeah.
So, and the reason for me specifically, one, I'm a nerd, right? And two, because I was at a point where I was going to start like a label. And so I was like heavy into reading and understanding contracts and what goes into the contract. I was working with a lawyer that I was paying, paid money to. We worked through all the different components of the contract just to make sure the contract was solidified and was legal document and worked the way it was supposed to. And man, I'm telling you, these artists aren't reading these contracts. You can literally put anything in a contract.
Yeah,
anything. Like,
but even with the reading,
crazy.
Even with the reading of the contract, the understanding is a whole nother thing.
It's a whole nother thing. But at least if you read it, then you have somebody on your side that can explain it to you.
Yeah,
or at least you know that you don't understand it.
Yeah, true.
I think
Probably shouldn't sign it.
That's
Right.
that's the thing is like, it's for me. I think that's the worst thing about the internet. It's like the thing worse than not knowing what to do is not knowing that you don't know what to do. It's this idea that I know what to do. Like, I feel like that's a big thing is it's very uncomfortable to have a hole. Like, you got to fill it. You got to plug it. Like, and so rather than sitting with the idea that I don't know something, and I watch this because I've like 17 years doing this magazine and dealing with a lot of artists. Every artist always knows what they need to be doing, even though the last thing that they knew didn't work. Oh yeah, you just got to get the big box on World Star. Oh yeah, you just got to get a public. Oh yeah, I just got to get on these playlists. It's like something always needs to fill this hole where what's between me and success. And so it's like what NFTs, like whatever it is, like something has to fill that hole so that they can feel comfortable in doing it. And because of that, I feel like they often miss out on the thing that might be right for them to do because they've plugged it with this placeholder.
Yeah. You know what's funny about what you was just saying though? I was thinking while you was talking, man. A lot of these label executives, they don't know what the hell to do either.
Yeah, they don't.
They be thinking they do.
No clue. But they are straight out here telling everybody how they should do. What they understand probably is systems. And structure and organization. Not so much
and
about
office politics.
Not so much about the business itself, right? But they know how to do. They are really good at structure and organizing and strategy and planning and management. And maybe not so much the music, the components that tie into the music piece, right?
I'm a plumber.
Like by trade?
No, just in this scenario.
What?
Now there is someone who's a real estate developer, right? And he owns 5 apartment buildings, each with 200 units. There are 1,000 toilets that he effectively owns. 1,000.
Yeah.
I have a modest 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths. I have 2.5 toilets.
2.5 2.5 toilets.
So when someone is looking for advice, like, yo, I need to install a toilet. I'm having a problem with my toilet. There's this guy who has thousands of toilets. But did he install them?
Nope.
No.
He probably has no clue even how to install them.
Right.
Exactly. When he needs them installed, he calls someone like me.
That's right.
And so you have a problem and you need a solution. But the way in which you're gauging who has the answers is based on how many toilets they have.
That's because they're looking at people who have done things like, oh, I helped these particular artists solidify these deals, or I did this particular thing in the industry in this way. And so they feel like those people are the right people because they've done certain types of activities that people are looking at going, well, if I want to achieve certain success, I have to go to that person because they have a track record of doing those things.
But it's outliers. It's like
that's right.
The guy who wins the lottery can't write a book about how to win the lottery.
True.
The guy who wins it twice, probably.
And there's some dudes who won it twice.
So, but it's like the averages and the amount of success. Like like I said, I've never went platinum. I don't got no platinum plaques for me as an artist or anything. But it's like, all right, who do you want to take advice from and who do you want to work with?
Right.
The guy who had one person go diamond and never anything else again. Or even platinum, whatever, right? Or someone who's helped 300 to 400 people earn 6 figures a year off of their music.
That's the one I want to listen to.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
not about the scale of the success. It's about the average of success.
Well, in the music industry, they make it all about the scale of the success. oh, you worked at Def. I'm just gonna name labels. You know, Def Jam, Sony, Arista, right? What's the name? Jive, Priority, Loud, right? Any of the no, it's funny because I was, and I got to go finish watching. I was watching the conversation with Joe Budden and what's my man's name? Larry. Oh my gosh, can't remember the dude's name. It just came out. But they were talking about all the different record labels that used to exist that no longer exist anymore. But what I find to be interesting is when a lot of independents are attending music panels, right? And they're listening to people who have hits, have gone platinum and diamond. And like I said before, trying to apply things at more an advanced level to. So like an example, give an analogy. So like I do leadership and management training in my actual real day-to-day job. Now, there are certain advanced level leadership strategies that I could never teach to a first-time supervisor or first-time manager. I would never even dream about doing that. Right. Even though I know that manager, if they're going to stay in it for a long time, they're going to need those advanced strategies. But you have to give them what they need at the place that they currently are, right? I'm not going to talk to you about all of these leadership strategies and that you need to be effective. I'm going to talk about how do you manage effectively when your first 90 days.
The company's paying you for this. They're not paying you.
No, the company's paying you.
Right. And so that's the problem. So that's why it works is because an outside like artist development. See, the music industry was better when the labels were around because we need gatekeepers and we need people objective oversight to say, hey, this needs to be this. Because if you let the person, the creative control, the budgets and the things and make all of the decisions, they're going to make it from an emotional place. Often from an egotistical place, from a like what feels right or it just don't feel right. But if it doesn't, it may not feel right and it may still be right. And so it's like, so how many of those managers, and then if you understand that that's how you get paid and they're making the buying decision, then you're a lot more cognizant of how attuned they are to the message that you're delivering. And so you got to make sure that you're delivering the message that keeps them wrapped in for the sale and not for their development. And so if they wanted to come in here and find out about, what is it, the core, like the key objectives, or like all these different, like, hey, that ain't where you at right now. But that's what they wanted to come in here and talk about. Then it's like, I guess that's what we're talking about today.
Like, you're not at this advanced level yet. We're not talking about, all these different coaching strategies that you don't even know how to coach properly. So let's start with one. You don't need to know 5. Let's start with this. Right?
I'm somewhat of a music industry anarchist, and like I go with all of it, like because this is what it is and this is how you do it. But on a very fundamental level, like when it comes to me working one-on-one with an artist, I throw all that industry shit out the window. Like,
because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to apply to you specifically in your situation. Like, we got to get, and I think that's the thing. It's great to have panels, right? It's great to hear things that are taking place, but information that is specific to that person's situation, you're not going to get that from an industry expert.
Yeah.
Like,
I think for me personally, I think they're too far removed.
A good attorney.
I just think they're too far removed from the independent space.
I agree. Like, I agree. The worst thing that happened to independent artists was COVID. The worst thing that happened to independent artists is COVID, because all of these people who were removed from the industry, because I've been doing this magazine for so long, like I've been helping indies before it was trendy, before this was a popular thing. Like, and I talked to bro, like the people in the office don't want nothing to do with y'all. Like the people with label positions don't want nothing to do with y'all. They don't want to come out to this. They got to be paid to come here. Yeah. The vast majority of them is cooties, indies. Like, like that's how they act. And like, but when everybody was out the office, people was losing their jobs and they had downtime and they was sitting on Instagram and just like, okay, rap for me. Like, it was like people had to figure things out. And I think a lot of people on the professional side, they saw the music industry, the bubble is busting on the music industry. Like I said, like it's the bubble is just bigger than the scale of our life. So I feel like the bubble burst in 1999, like 2000s, like with Napster. It freed the slaves. The music was free.
It became free.
Yeah. Like everything else is like streaming is sharecropping.
It became free.
Oh man,
look, streaming is sharecropping.
You ain't lying, bro.
Napster is, so when I think about Apple Music and Spotify and Tidal and all these, they are Napster of today. They are literally the Napster of
slavery
today.
By another name.
Now they have some, the record labels have some piece in what's happening. Exactly. There's a controlling entity where Napster was peer-to-peer.
They still own the land.
Peer-to-peer.
Somebody owned the land.
Right, somebody.
Trust me, when you start going down that rabbit hole, man, and seeing how far that go and who owned what, and man, yeah.
And you got your boy out here, the Spotify guy, just making millions upon millions upon millions selling
for
stuff.
Management, not for management, because he doesn't make money off your music. Like all the art, you making money off art? Nobody making money off your music. He's making money off of managing this company, these employees, this infrastructure. Like,
and once again, that's what they're good at doing. Not the actual art itself, but they're good at organizational structure. Policies, systems, things like that. And they're getting paid tons of money off of that.
Yeah.
And the government. Like every reasonably large organization has a compliance department and has to deal with regulation.
Yeah.
Copyright laws.
Yeah.
Like, so the whole thing, like they're just leveraging this capitalistic system.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all right. And here's the thing though, it's like it was a reason why people sharecropped. Because it was better than starving. And it's like, it's not the ideal situation. And that's why all the artists, like when I say sharecropping, it's like, all right, everybody's on Spotify though. Like you complain about all this stuff.
But everybody's on Spotify.
But you still got your stuff up there.
That's right.
And it's like, because it's better than the alternative.
Yeah, my wife and I were having a conversation about something similar to this, but it was more in reference of how clubs, not necessarily clubs, but bars and restaurants and hotels pay money to use music in their establishments, right? We got this whole conversation about the whole thing. And her whole thing was, it should be free. As a restaurant owner,
no, camera to me.
It should be free, right? I was like, well, wait a minute. What you mean? It should be free. They got to pay the royalties. The artists got to get paid.
But they shouldn't.
She was like, I don't care about none of that.
They shouldn't.
It should be free. For me to play your music.
If you weren't in the music industry, you would not even think that someone was you wouldn't even fathom.
Yeah, that's why she said it.
Mechanicals don't even make sense.
That's why she said it.
Publishing doesn't make sense.
She was like, that don't make sense at all. And I was trying.
The fact that's why it's so hard to teach this stuff.
Look, I was trying to argue
because it doesn't make sense.
I was trying to argue that this is why they should get paid, and here's the thing, and they got to do this, and why? Because the artist did this, and blah blah blah. And she was like, I don't care about none of that. It should be free. Yeah. Why do I, as a restaurant, got to pay some artists? I don't like. Do we pay for the radio? Like, no. Like, all right, there you go. Music is free on the radio. You're not paying the radio. You ain't paying the radio company.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, yeah. So
but that's the thing is, it's why all of this is so hard to change. And it's just like, and I'll keep going back to slavery. It's like there are whole institutions built around this thing.
Entire institutions.
Like there's tobacco, there's all the crops. There's all of everything that goes into supporting those industries, but it's built on a premise that is fundamentally wrong.
Let me tell you what, Corn is free.
It is.
Wheat is free.
It is.
Monsanto, on the other hand, would beg to differ. Because Monsanto is like, we own the seed.
Yeah.
They figured out a way.
Because they genetically modified
They figured out a way to own the seed to something that's free.
Because they produced, because they actually produced. Now,
free on the ground.
Corn is still free, though.
Corn is still free.
You don't have to get the Monsanto seed.
Nope.
You get seed from somewhere else.
But guess what? Oh man, I forgot.
So
this,
you playing in
I forgot the
that
name of
game.
this. I forgot the name of this documentary that we ended up seeing, my wife and I. But it was something about how they send out Monsanto. That's right, Monsanto. I'm calling you Monsanto agents to go to these farmers to find out if they're using Monsanto seeds or not. And sometimes they're dirty, like cops.
Yeah,
like because sometimes
capitalism.
Sometimes you find like, how did those drugs get in my car? I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, we found them in your car though. So they will walk around and plant these Monsanto seeds on the cornfields or the wheat fields, and then come back and say, you're using our seeds, and they're like, no, we're not. And then they go run the soil test and investigation to come and find out there's Monsanto seeds. But how did they get there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Your agents.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah, bro. It's crazy, but it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
The same thing.
It's like a misalignment of interest. It's like that's the problem. My problem, like,
shoot, I think movies should be free too.
No,
I don't want to pay. He's like, nah, I don't want to pay for that.
Well, see, here's the thing with movies. Now there is substantially high production costs in the creation. So there's labor becomes a part of the end product. So definitely. It's like all of that.
Definitely.
But then it's still a similar thing where the IP for someone else, like, to be able to build on that. I think there should be like a limited window. I think the copyright laws are too long.
70?
I think is it 75?
Is it 70 plus
life plus 75 years? Something crazy. It's something plus 70. It's like, but it's the whole thing is that's why how many great songs were never released because a sample couldn't get cleared.
Oh,
like
man.
if we really want to talk about
a lot of them sitting in my catalog right now.
The same guy who says that music shouldn't be free.
No,
I'm messing with you. See, and that's the whole thing. Like that's the interesting thing is with all of this stuff, because it's hard not to see it from your point of view. Yeah. It's so difficult. Like the generative AI stuff. Like,
oh yeah. That's getting crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
so I was gonna I'm trying to find this thing because even on somebody says I talk about it every tag. I probably do talk about it every episode.
Cool.
That just made me think about
J.
something,
Cole.
man.
Oh, I want the full experience then.
I probably talk about J.
Really
Cole.
just made me think about something though.
What?
How many, like you said, how many great songs never got released because of the sample clearance?
Yeah.
It's probably some stuff.
It stifles culture.
Yeah.
So this thing that you put into the world that inspired me to do this other thing now can't go into the world to inspire others.
Other people, that makes sense, dude.
You
I never think about that like that.
And you can say what can and can't happen. Like, we're against monopolies. Every time you see monopolies in the news, it's in a negative light, but that's all a copyright is. It's a legal monopoly.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Cole kind of said, I think I do talk about J. Cole in every episode though. But I mean, he is one of my favorite rappers. But he said that in the outro of 2014 Forest Hill Drive. He talked about one of the samples getting cleared, and it got cleared like right at the end. He was like, "Man, forget that." He said this mug should be free. He's like, "Well, I got to go through all this rigmarole to clear the samples." He's like, "This mug." He said,
"Until I sample him."
He said to me, "Until we like," and then he gonna be like, "Hey, where my royalties at?"
Man, I stopped sampling, dog.
See,
because now it's too
you
much.
stop doing something
unless
artistically based on a business practice.
True.
Like, let's say you were a painter and the price of blue goes up. So it's just like, I'm just going to stop using blue in all of my...
Or I'm going to figure out how to make blue and then...
like, how you going to paint the sky?
Use my own, right. I'm going to use my own blue.
Everyone is a cloudy day.
Right.
It's a cloudy day every time.
Like, oh, I guess I got to do this color. But you can make... I guess that's the other option, right? Figure out. Somebody's going to figure it out. So
generative AI.
Like generative AI, right? Or like TrackLib.
Yeah.
Because TrackLib literally was like, oh, people got to clear samples and paper samples. What if we kind of made that process easier for them?
But I think that's kind of the problem. All right, my nerds here. Did y'all see Loki?
I've loved Loki.
Movie. Season 2, season 1?
Glorious.
Okay.
Purpose.
Glorious. Oh, man.
Glorious.
That was such a poetic ending.
Look. Hold on before you go there.
Spoiler alert.
I didn't even watch it until my son was like, yo, you seen Loki? I was like, no. So I had to go back. And Loki was out and all the other Marvel TV shows
it was the
were out.
best thing
I was like, all right,
they
let me go see it. I watched season 1. I pretty much almost watched the whole thing in a couple of days. Season 2 came out, loved it. Yeah. But I love the glorious purpose. Oh, my God.
The way it bookended. Like his whole arc, it was like, what?
It was amazing. Sorry,
I'm completely lost.
It's okay.
When there, yeah. Anyway, glorious purpose, yes, sir.
So it's like copyright law prunes a whole branch. Everything that could have been from that. So TrackLib, it's still the multiverse exists, but you're pruning whole branches.
Exactly.
It's like, so because I own this, everyone that it's influenced or could influence, it's like, it's not like replaying this. Like, it's just like how many songs, like Prince, one of the greats. How many people did he inspire? How many beats were made? How many?
So many.
Yeah, like I know people who had crazy beats at the beat battles on Michael Jackson samples of Prince. And it was just like the consensus on the that's never getting cleared.
Ever.
But everybody in the club is going crazy. Like,
never getting cleared.
So, and there's so many people who weren't in that club who don't know what I'm talking about. To be inspired to make beats.
If I sit back and think about it, has anyone ever cleared a Prince sample?
I was just thinking that. I don't think so. I don't.
Maybe after he died.
I've never heard a sample
close to it was not Dove's Cry, but Thug's Cry with
Oh yeah.
Busy Bone.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can think of.
They probably got the rights to do that from Prince somehow, some way, maybe because I think it had
Midwest.
Doves Cry, like Midwest, right? Type of I think they got some type of. I had to go back and look.
Yeah, that's worth an investigation.
That's an investigation because I don't really think Michael Jackson or Prince really gave a lot of clearance for their sample clearance for their stuff.
It was something else I was just recently listening to. I don't remember. It was talking about Michael Jackson clearing something, but I know it was like he's one of those. Yeah, the great. No, you
can't use Thriller in any song. No,
never.
Beat It. I don't think so.
Never.
No. All right, so let's talk about this as we still go through this. You know, the myths, the comparisons, and the pitfalls. And I'm actually start off with Supastar Six. Because he is an artist, the artist out of all of us sitting in here.
In the hot seat.
He in the hot seat right now. So I know you probably got a lot to say about this, but where do you think new artists fail?
Where do I think new artists fail? Man.
Or even let's start there. New artists. I want to get in this business. I want to be an artist.
I think artists be putting out music too soon. Like if they're new, like I think they put stuff out too soon just because they want to get people eyes on them. But taking the time to get that thing to the space where it needs to be, you know, so you presenting a better product. Because now, like a lot of these artists have been trained to just throw material out over and over again. Like just new stuff. I see a lot of like we talk about the gurus. I see a lot of them telling, you know, artists that they need to be releasing a song or a couple songs every week or something like that. I think it's overload. You know what I mean? like that's overload. And then what you were saying about all of the other stuff that's going into even putting the song out after you're done, you know, so that alone can kill an artist, you know, not knowing exactly what they need to push it forward, not having the structure, you know, to even put the music out there like they need to put it out there. So it's a couple things, man. A lot of things, honestly, that I feel will hinder a new artist. You know, that's my take on that.
Kelby?
Am I talking too low?
No, you just need to put the mic closer to your mouth.
Probably about right here. Maybe so.
Yeah. There you go.
I can't really hear myself, but yeah.
Turn me up in the headphones.
Turn me up.
It's the cuffs. Man.
Or do you think they fail? That's probably the better question, right?
I think all of them fail. Like the vast majority fail.
Yeah.
Because they don't do what they set out to do. And often because none of them set out to do anything. Most of them don't set goals.
Yeah.
And so
don't really know.
Yeah. But I think go ahead.
I was gonna say I didn't. I mean, when I first started doing music, I just did what I saw.
Yeah.
You know, I just did what I saw.
Lemmings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw them do this. I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
It must have worked because there's somewhere.
But that's the crazy thing. People imitate failure. People imitate failure. Ooh. It's like everybody is doing this thing and nobody has popped. None of them is not worked for any. It worked for one person. That's the exception.
Right.
So this didn't work for anyone else. I gotta try that. Like, that I don't
but
get
it didn't
that.
work.
Yeah. So but for me, I think the thing for artists that causes a lot of them to fail, or one of the pitfalls, is not having a model of the whole. And it's like, and that's the thing, is how are you going to you have to understand what the purpose of a thing is, like structurally. Like it's like when artists, the radio should be playing my music and yada yada, and it's like, okay, and then it's like, how does a radio station make money? It's like from playing music. It's like there are talk radio stations. Like, so how does it make, like, they're in the business of selling ads.
Ads, yep.
And so like when you don't understand the thing and then you try to interface with the thing or leverage the thing with no understanding of it. Yep. And so that's my thing. Like, so many artists don't understand like the industry. So when we talking about copyright, like if you don't understand copyrights, that is the foundation that all of this is built on.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So how are you releasing music and doing LLCs and doing all of these things and performing and complaining about not getting paid and complaining about people charging for stuff and doing all of these things, and you don't understand the fundamental thing that all of this is built on?
Yeah.
I don't need to understand that. I just want to be an artist. I want to be a rapper.
And that's where, like, so
you come in with the management services.
No. What?
Well, when I think of management services,
I'll tell you exactly what we do.
You can tell me.
All right. So
I got my.
We do one strategy session a month, consulting. So I talk to you about what you have going on and provide direction.
Right.
But then, because I understand that you need more than that, and we have additional things, you also get 2 hours of studio time. Oh. You also have a gold membership on our site that allows you to submit for other opportunities and be a part of the community, get discounts on additional things, and then get guaranteed posts on our site, which we have a network of tastemakers that go to the site. And based on the actual music, you can get featured in other publications, podcasts, blogs, all of that stuff. So it helps with the PR component. And then each month, you either have content or a performance, so that you're doing the things that you need to be consistently doing as an artist. So you might drop a performance video this month, might have an interview this month, might have a photo shoot this month, might have a performance this month. So it's consistently something going on, and you have visuals out.
Yeah, it's the establishment of those behaviors and those habits. And I think that's, for me, I think that's probably one, that's kind of how I define management services, right? It's not, I'm providing you services that a manager would typically do from a business perspective, right? So I'm going to help you strategize. I'm going to help you work through issues. I'm going to help provide resources to you.
Right.
And outside of that,
it's still on you.
Everything is on you. I'm just providing the services.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about strategy.
Right.
We're going to, so when I would do consulting with people, I put them through SWOT analysis. They're like, what's a SWOT analysis? I'm like, you're going to go through a SWOT analysis.
Your strength, you came to me. Your weakness, everything you think.
Opportunities, all of them. Threats, everybody, even yourself, right? But I would have them do SWOT analysis, and goal planning sessions. And they're like, this ain't the studio. I'm gonna be in the studio. No, trust me, bro. This is what you need right here.
Yeah. Like my goal is always, when I did consulting work more, is like even with the management services, anyone that I bring in, I want to work with you for at least a year, but no more than 2. Like, my goal isn't to be your manager. My goal is to teach you to manage yourself. And it's like, even when I would do consulting, just general consulting, it was like I spend more time teaching. Like, everything, like, I won't just tell you what to do. I'm gonna explain why. Like, I'm gonna explain copy. I'm gonna explain the principles behind the thing. I think my concept and the way that I believe this is principles over processes, because processes change.
They can change.
But if you understand the principle,
that's right,
you can adjust the processes accordingly.
That's right. Oh yeah. Those are the things that I would teach, like in leadership training, and those things are 100% true. Process change, principles don't. Principles are everlasting. Process will absolutely change based upon conditions of the environment, society, the job, organizational, all type, climate. All those things will change. Will end up changing processes. Technology, everything. AI, generative AI, like Suno and Udio and all these things coming out to, not even just from that perspective, right? I mean, they can create whole songs that you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Listen, I was listening to that $1 Million Baby over the way over. I was like, you can't tell me this ain't AI. I'm gonna need to touch that artist and know he not a hologram, because I swear,
hologram Tupac.
And it's like, and here's the thing.
That's an AI song.
It's not.
It's not. It's not.
I don't know.
It may be.
Like, I'll just be real.
I'm finna say
I on a deep level, like, bro, we could all be a simulation. This life could be a simulation. We could be in the Matrix. Like, the vast amount of stuff that I am aware of that I've never seen in my life. Like, have you ever touched a giraffe?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It's a drive through. It's a drive.
Oh, you went to that?
Yeah. It literally
wrong person.
There's one down the street.
Have you ever touched a hyena?
Hell no.
And I don't want to touch no hyena either.
But you know they exist.
I do. I see it. Yeah.
But how do you know they exist? It's all third-party information.
Seen it, like, there's a hyena right there.
Yeah,
some of you see first person, right? Some of you can literally see right in front of you, like, oh, that's a lion, that's a bear, like, that's a giraffe. Like, I see them.
Like, all the places that exist on this earth that you only know about from photos and videos.
Yeah,
You've never been there.
You've never been there.
Like,
you only know it because of.
I can't get mad at the flat earthers. I don't believe them, but I was like, bro.
Well, a lot of them been disproved, but.
But how can you disprove them? Like, there's all the data.
There's a dude who did it. As a matter of fact, it was a flat earther who disproved himself.
Well, they'll do that because the way they try to prove they're right is what makes them sound crazy.
No, but in this particular video, the dude was saying something about I can't remember all the details of the video, but he was like, okay, if we get to a certain height, then we should see the sun here. We shouldn't see the sun, but if we get here, we shouldn't see it. But then if we get here, and then all of a sudden it was like we shouldn't see it. But if we do, and the earth is round, then we should see the sun. And as soon as he went up, the sun was like, hello, I'm the sun. And he was like, shoot, we just disproved ourselves. like
Yo, that's so hilarious. I gotta go check that.
You gotta check that video out. But yeah, for me, like I said, I think that's probably the biggest area for me where artists fail is, and that kind of goes into like the misconceptions and the myth and things like that, is that they think that as soon as they drop a song, pick up the mic, write a lyric, whatever the case, that stuff is gonna pop. Like it's just literally just gonna start happening. It's like a field of dreams.
They should.
It's a field of dreams.
That's what they supposed to think.
We are hope givers.
That's what we sell them.
We sell them hope.
Listen,
so much.
We're hope dealers.
We're hope dealers.
Like we replace the dope with hope.
That's right.
But here's the thing. At least when people sold dope, everyone knew it was bad. When you're selling hope,
yes,
you get applauded for selling hope. And giving people false hope is the worst thing.
False hope.
Like it's so many people who've gambled away small fortunes, like who could have potentially done something, but because it's like I said, the internet, I have this, there's no middle ground, there's no nuance on the internet, so it's either complete negative,
I hate the internet,
or complete positive. You try to escape that, it's a silo of positivity,
right?
There's no reality,
right?
And so it's like this toxic positivity, anything can be poisonous in the right dosage. People can die from drinking too much water.
Right.
And
you can.
And so it's like with this toxic positivity is like, I would like when I was on Clubhouse, I was like, yo, I gotta get off of here because
I never got into Clubhouse.
I got into it. It was cool because I miss going to music conferences. Because that's where we used to, and then it fell out of vogue for a while. And then when the pandemic, it was like, oh, all my people are on here. And it was like, cool. And then it was like, but then I realized like, oh, this is just fake and ego stroking and like
and that's why I hate the internet.
A whole bunch of arguing and back and forth on.
It got
Clubhouse, man.
I wasn't in them rooms. It was some crazy rooms.
Man,
I was like, yo, I got
What's buddy name? He live on there. What's the dude name?
There was someone named Fred. Someone I don't know. But it was a few of them. I made some good contacts.
It ain't WAC 100, is it?
Oh, WAC 100, dude. It used to be on there.
Yeah.
I never got into Clubhouse. Yeah, because what I saw Clubhouse turning into was a hodgepodge of pretenders.
Yes.
A lot of people who thought they knew information, thought they knew strategy, and you really don't.
Man.
Like
people in the industry. People with six-figure salaries. Like I'm on there, I'm like, yo, this guy's an imbecile. Like
in the industry, I'm like, oh yeah, nah. Like, but that's how I feel about ChatGPT.
But it's like luck. Like that's what I said. Like there's like the scale of success is based on luck.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember what the difference, accuracy versus aim. Like I can't remember precision versus accuracy. And so it's like that the difference between those two things, like how often can you create success versus the scale of the success,
sustainability.
And so it's like if I can have 100 artists and 30 of them reach their goal, that's amazing.
That's validity. That is validity right there.
But if I can have someone else has 100 artists and they have one artist 30x their goal,
and none of the other ones,
like you don't know what.
That's an outlier.
That's an outlier.
To me, that's an outlier.
That's how we're conditioned. That's how they do it.
See that, and that's why I tell people to go spend time in corporate America, because then
I believe every artist should have a job.
I believe every artist should have a job.
I don't believe artistry is employment. Like I just don't think, and I think that there will be outliers, but that's not how we're selling it.
Right.
And that leads to what I feel like the mental health issues. And that goes back to what you were saying earlier, just like how they believe I just put it out and I just blow up. And it's because it's PR.
They're fed that.
Yeah.
They are absolutely fed that through all of these different platforms. And it's like
through the artists.
Like Supastar Six was saying, like, you can go to YouTube and there's everything on YouTube. But who on YouTube really knows how to do X, Y, and Z? They only know based upon their relative experience.
Right.
Right. And so for me, the validity comes in when I have, as you were saying, 30 artists and it's duplicatable. Right? I can apply this to this. I mean, that's why when R&D, right?
Yeah.
You have control groups.
Yes.
And then you have just those other groups that, the change groups. And I have a group that I'm controlling that we're applying these things to. And it's the validity, predictability of those things to say, if I can make this happen with 30 people, then I can make this happen with this person, and this person, and this person. Just because I can 30x somebody one time, that's not valid. There's no validity.
There no matter how tightly controlled the experiment, there are factors beyond.
There's always gonna be variables.
We don't understand how any of this stuff works. Photons, electromagnetism, like any science, when it gets delved sufficiently enough into it, turns into magic. It's like, because we don't know why gravity exists. I could explain to it and calculate and do in the trajectories, but why is mass drawn to each other?
I'm gonna tell you what,
abracadabra.
You can try to defy gravity and be like, I don't believe in gravity. Okay.
Yeah. But then, and that's why I would use this for example. So it's like with that concept, Santa Claus and the Wright brothers. So every artist believes in Santa Claus. Just like every person at some point in time has believed Santa Claus was real.
Some point.
Even some of different religions. It's like, because you see it enough, like, why wouldn't it? But if you grew up in a Christian household, like, hey, Santa Claus, why would you not believe he's real? Your mom told you, your dad told you,
your grandma,
your pastor told you. Listen, you could go turn on the news, Santa tracker, like go to Google. Santa's over in North Dakota, like everything. So why would you not believe it's real?
Yeah.
And then here comes Tommy. Santa Claus isn't real.
Santa Claus ain't real.
And destroyed. And crying, upset. And the teacher gets on Tommy for telling the truth. The idea of Santa Claus is control.
Because everybody has been conditioned to believe in the idea.
We're part of the system, but why are you part of the system? Even people in other religions won't tell, hey, and they know not going to tell your children that Santa Claus, even they, listen, this ain't even a part of what we do, but.
Right. I mean, it's not, but it's kind of like we don't want to be the ones to tell you about
the truth. That's
the truth.
That's
the truth, and what's going on in your culture. Relative.
But we're in culture, though. Like, so I'm saying from the example,
we're in culture.
We're in culture, and we don't do it. And that's the scary thing.
And it's crazy. I had a conversation with Derek, I would just say his name, Derek McKinney.
Okay.
Because I did an interview with Derek, and we were talking about that. And he mentioned, and I saw somebody, matter of fact, is in this thing that I'm listening to with the Joe Budden and this other guy. I can't remember Larry somebody. I can't remember the name of it. But he stated, because he's an executive.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, how come, other black people aren't put in these executive positions? Derek said the same. He said the same thing. He was like, if they were put in these executive positions, in culture, they would be telling other people how to do things. And I was like, Derek, I don't think so. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt if they would. I said,
I don't believe
and
so.
the reason why I don't think they would share the industry secrets or look out for others, and I gave them the example of New Edition and how the head of RC, I think it was RCA or Columbia, it was one of those, was black. Whoever Tank's character played was black, right? He knew that their manager was robbing them and that they were signed to their manager and not RCA. He knew all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So why he was making money hand over fist. So why would it be beneficial for him to educate the young black brothers on the business structure, business models, copyright, whatever the case, to give them that knowledge if it was going to take money out of his pocket? So he allowed the manager to rob him.
Martyrs get killed.
Like
I
don't think that's gonna be true.
There's no altruism. Like,
yeah.
Like that's the thing, is like it is not the people who get in those positions are the people who will maintain those positions.
And you know what? And that's what Derek said. He was like, well, where did he learn that from? He learned that from the person that was his president, his mentor. And so he utilized that same type of behavior. So he said, but he put somebody like Rakim, KRS-One into the VP position.
And they never would.
He's like, he said,
if they put the leader of the Crips over the LAPD, they're probably not going to do that.
You think he's going to rat out his brothers? Nah, it ain't happening.
Like, it is like, that's the whole thing. Like, listen, they
do it.
No, because it's like, it's some Malcolm and Martin stuff.
Ooh.
Listen, they're not going to put Malcolm on TV. They will put Malcolm on TV.
But they want to put Martin on TV
because no, they'll put Martin on TV,
but they won't put Malcolm
on TV because one's message maintains the status quo to an extent. While it may change some things, it doesn't upend the system. It disrupts the convenience, but not capitalism. And so it's like the stuff that I'm saying, like when I say music should be free, that upends the system. Like, listen, ain't nobody ever gonna that's why this stuff is so convoluted, is because it's easier to apply laws than to pass laws. So we just take the stuff that's on the books and apply it to shit that has no semblance of sheet music. So why do we keep calling it publishing? Why is it called mechanicals when it's digital now? Why is it like...
would it be better if it was digital royalties?
It just needs to be a whole new thing based on the thing that is.
It does need a massive overhaul, though. I would 100% agree the industry needs a massive overhaul. Why do we have...
But if we look at it, the truth is, it's not... Here's the thing. Go ahead, because I don't want to say it.
Why do we have the CBR, right? The collection... What is it? CRB?
CRB.
Collection Royalty Board.
Bureau Board.
Yeah, the Collection Royalty Board. They're judges. It's a board of judges. If I'm, I'm always looking stuff up. I'm a nerd when it comes to all that stuff. But I think the CRB are made up of judges, and they are passing law or rates. Yeah, the Copyright Royalty Board. It's a U.S. system of 3 copyright royalty judges who determine rates and terms for copyright statutory licenses and make determinations on distribution of statutory license royalties collected by the U.S. Copyright Office of the Library of Congress. They're judges. 3 judges. They don't have no music, no.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's why
they don't have any interest in the artists, the producers.
But you're justifying why music should be free. See the sun? This is like this whole system has nothing to do with the music.
Nothing.
It's about laws and legal act. How can I impose my will? The law is about power. It's I can't remember the word, but it's basically it's just a form of power and control. And so but it needs to, like, you have law enforcement, you have the cops. Like, the laws don't mean nothing if there's no one to enforce it. Like, so, and that's the whole thing. Like, why they sued all those people with Napster. It was like to scare you so you don't do this, and because we're gonna come in your house and like that thing. We're gonna take down your website. We're gonna do these things to keep why there was so few slave uprisings.
Oh, we know why. Because of what they did. Because of what the masses would do.
But when you're outnumbered, even when you're outnumbered,
and they were massively outnumbered.
And so this goes back to like it's these things that get done in the industry, like music should be free. Like music got freed in 1999, 2000 with Napster.
Yeah, Napster came out and was like, "Hey,
the genie's out the bottle." Like $20 for a CD when I could just it's the same quality,
same thing. Okay.
And now,
now the companies just took the same. We're going to do that, but we're going to benefit.
Nobody's paying for music.
Yeah, we're going to benefit. We're going to benefit from it.
Music is free.
Music is free.
Yeah,
I mean, except especially if you're paying for your Apple Music,
it's free.
Or
it's like water is free. It falls out the sky.
But I was talking about this the other day. Like water's free, but we pay water bill.
Right. Because you're paying for the pipes and the maintenance.
Of the water.
That's what you're paying for. Same thing with the music.
And the distribution of water into your home and into your toilets, into your
That's what we're paying for. We're not paying for the actual music. That's why if like Taylor Swift takes her stuff off of Spotify, I still have Spotify. I'll just replace it with something else. Like there's a difference between something being unique and something being special. And it's like music, like it's like snowflakes. Like everyone's unique, but none of them are particularly special because I don't care if it's Thriller. It would be another song. Before it was Thriller, it was The Monster Mash. It was like it was something that held that space.
Right.
And if it wasn't there, something else would fill it. And so like in the concept that this thing is special when it's not, we make things special by how we perceive it. And that's why so much of it is marketing. And so it's like we talk about Michael Jackson and Prince, but I'm pretty sure there have been musicians that were way better than them that we've never talked about, never heard from. Like I know people who make amazing music who struggle paying their rent.
Me too.
And there's stuff that I hate that's on the radio.
Same.
So
same. I know one personally who makes amazing music. Like music is ridiculous. When I say music is ridiculous, I mean it's ridiculous. Like he got an album called Time Machine. I've just been waiting on.
I remember he was talking about me.
I've just been waiting on. I'm talking about someone with crazy skills. Singer, rapper, multi-instrumentalist, right? Ridiculous.
But he's wrapped up in the music industry.
No, I'm not.
No, we're not talking to you. I'm talking to him. So like the thing, what he said the thing was, I think I know this artist. I seen him on a podcast. He was talking about the thing that most artists is like just rushing their music out. And I was like, that's what you're supposed to do. If I'm learning how to cook eggs, I got to put them on the plate, taste them. I got to let the family eat them. I got to, taste the soup.
Taste it.
I need to see if I'm doing it right. If what I'm preparing tastes to people the way that I think it tastes to me, and adjust and season accordingly, and keep doing this.
That's the perfection of the work.
Yeah,
right?
It's so much perfection in theory. Yeah. They're gonna love this. When are you gonna put it out for them?
Right.
You know, it was a good podcast. He had some very valid points, but I was just like, yo, I want more artists to just release the music. And I think, and that part of that thinking that like, being so concerned with it making money stifles the creativity and the process of releasing the records to even see if it resonates with people.
Right.
And so it slows down a person's creativity, their growth, all of it. It slows down the business.
Now, what I can say about Supastar Six is that he does put music out though.
Okay.
Like that's the thing. Like,
But he ain't put out the Time Machine. That's what we talking about.
he put out Time
Well,
Machine.
see,
yet,
you
though.
know, Time Machine. Dang,
I ain't mean to put him on the spot, but the
Yeah,
Time
you-
Machine.
we
I
done-
did. I
we
still
done-
love you,
Shameless
cuz,
promo. Promo.
Look, I still love you, cuz.
we done told the name of the album. But Time Machine it's a special project to me.
Yeah.
Because one, I knew it was gonna take time to make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because for one, I didn't even know how to play all the instruments yet.
Oh my
When I
goodness.
first started working on it. You know what I'm saying? So now I pretty much know how to play everything, and I can make it sound the way I need it to sound. So even some of those earlier records, I redid them. Like, okay, now I can actually make this sound the way I heard it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And even my voice developing and growing into it's just something that comes with time.
Yeah.
It's called Time Machine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, I think
No, that's
the
dope.
world's
Like
ready
it's a
for it.
concept project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
and it's
yeah.
dope though.
But no, and that still goes back to the thing. What I'm saying is there's someone out there that would appreciate it as it is.
yeah, it's true.
And it's like in the like this is one of the things, like I talk to
I
artists
appreciate
all
it.
the time. I be like, I was like, yo, God forbid, you could die tomorrow. Who's gonna put out your music?
One of my other cousins said that to me. Same
It's
exact
like
thing.
who is gonna like who's about to sit up and get the cover art together and go through the distro kid and who like, and so then it just withers on the vine.
Yeah.
On the hard drive. And it's like a thing that made me really consider that. It was, I don't remember, it was something about someone a parent had passed. And it's just like all the stuff that they threw away. Like you just clean out, because to them it was something. Oh, this was our trip to here, and this we got this here, and there's all this sentimentality attached to these things that to everyone else it doesn't hold that.
True, that's true.
And so you got to put it out.
I ran into that. Yeah, so I absolutely get that. Really get that. And the from a personal perspective, it still hurts though, right? It's still like when something holds sentimental value to you, but not to someone else, and then someone else takes it and just disregards it. It's like,
and the inverse though.
It's like, wait a minute.
The inverse. The thing that meant something to you that means so much more to somebody else. Like, so the funny thing, like me and my wife, we've been together 19 years, married 17 years.
That's what's up.
And like, it's so funny. Like something that came up and it was like a line from a song on my second album. And it wasn't me, it was my cousin Don's verse. And she started rapping it. It was funny because of whatever was said, it made me think of it too. And she started rapping the verse. She's never met my cousin. And this song is 20 plus years old. So that we put these things out in the world that take on a life of their own and impact people and become inside jokes and inside things for other people. We change the world through our creativity. Yeah. And how often we deprive the world of that because of this capitalistic dream and this idea of perfection and like that. And it's like, I just wish more artists, and they're not speaking to your project because I understand what you're talking about on that project, but the amount of artists who just don't release music because they're overthinking. And
they're perfectionists.
And it's like, it's a single, like bro.
Perfectionist. Trust me, I know a cat. He is crazy perfectionist with his music. He's like, this snare is not of the right hertz. I'm like, bro, who cares? Who's going to... What? But that's when public person is going to care about. That's the consumer is going to hear that. Oh, yes, I have the wrong frequency. Like, who cares?
Artists make it, and that's the difference between being an artist and an entertainer to an extent.
Put it out.
Like, you're... Like, artists make for other artists. Yeah. Like Prince is doing stuff to upstage Mike.
Right.
not necessarily entertain the crowd that
Right,
night.
true.
Like,
It was though.
So it's
Going
like
to Jimmy Jam and them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like, so in that sense, like it's certain things like, and here's the thing, doing that stuff for the artists, especially in today's industry, doesn't move the needle.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, yeah, if this is yeah, that's just the thing. Like the like how the Grammys are seemingly irrelevant.
Oh,
In a sense, because here's the thing, it's about the art, but everybody's talking about the numbers.
Right.
And so there's like this conflict of interest in what is like when we have the top MC battles or the conversations, and then the first guy, well, he sold more. It's like, but that ain't what we're talking about.
What we're talking about. Selling more is not one of the criteria.
But when you're a layperson,
right,
when you don't understand double entendre and all these different things, and like the thing, like when you're not, you have to be skilled in a discipline to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's a lot of people that are unable to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like there's a whole bunch of reasons for that, but like it's, you know, I love the industry.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I love it, but there's a lot of things that I don't really like about it. I really don't.
Yeah.
But it and you got to just know how to operate within that.
I don't know how. I spent, like, the funny thing was, like, I think of the first question where we were talking about getting in that crowd. I think I've spent most of my life trying to stay out of that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like trying to operate as just an outsider. I don't want to be a part of that because it's like I know what comes with that position.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
I gotta be cool with you screwing over and fudging the numbers. And
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
I'm not going to do that. And that's the issue.
It's all being exposed now, right?
Oh man.
See, I would agree with you except for that word "all."
Not all of it, but
like,
you know,
it's like it's so little. Like that's the thing. If this is what's being exposed,
right?
Yeah, it's the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly.
Oh my God! Imagine how big the iceberg bottom.
Imagine how big the iceberg is,
bro. It's some out of this world type shit.
Out of this world stuff.
Yeah,
man. All right. So as we wrap, this is a great, dope conversation. As we wrap up, last things you want to say. Anything that you're thinking about related to the music industry, anything you want to communicate to those who may be watching?
Man. Which camera were we at? We here?
Yeah, that's you. No, that's you right here.
No, this is it?
That's you.
Hold on.
Yeah, he gonna look.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I thought that was, listen,
that's all
I've
of us
been,
right there.
Okay. I've ruined the whole show. Like for me, I don't know. I don't, you know what? I don't love the industry. I don't love systems. I don't love abstract things. I love people. And I wish that more people embraced their creativity as a hobby. I wish more people saw their creativity as a source of joy. I wish more artists were fine with having a job and doing music for fun, because music is something fun to do, just like playing basketball. Like you don't stop playing basketball because you didn't go to the NBA. Like you put up a hoop over the garage, you can put a studio in the basement, and you can make music and you can share it with the world on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on social media. You can upload it to the DSPs. Like you can do all of that stuff, and you can spend money promoting it and doing all of those things to see what it does and to reach who you can without feeling like, if this thing doesn't make me $1 million, I quit. And I feel it's just like all the alcohol commercials, the way they say, please drink responsibly. I just want people to do music responsibly. Have a responsible relationship with their creativity. That's it.
For sure. Supastar Six.
Supastar Six. .com. That's it.
He was like, go check out the music.
Like, yeah, I forgot. I got a website too.
Yeah, got a website. Go on, give it to him.
Makingitmag.com. MAKINITMAG.com. It's gonna be right here. Honestly, I did that so he could do it in post. It's on fire now. Now ice.
Oh no, you're gonna have low. You're gonna have. Oh yeah, we got lower thirds. It's gonna have your name, your position, where you go for your social media website.
Okay.
It's lower thirds on it.
Okay.
But man, it's been a pleasure, brothers.
Appreciate you having me.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks for tuning in to the Indie Unplugged. My name is Vaughan. We got Kelby. We got Supastar Six. Y'all have a good night or day whenever you watch it. Make sure to tune in. I got a website too. Right? Y'all should know it by now. WeCreateMusic.tv, right? Yeah. Go check it out. You can check out all the master classes and music panels. So we're giving you information at the position that you're in. Not no way up here, but for independent music creatives.
All you need is a small loan of $10 million from your dad.
And you too can make
be a billionaire
in this industry. But y'all have a good night. Peace.
Peace.